What's going on? This is Michael Barayev with Spitting Fire. Today is Friday. And as you guys know, every single week we come at you. We spit fire, we spit the truth, and nothing but the truth. I got my boy Matt Diaz over here.
My boy Michael Barayev.
Yes, sir. So what are we going to talk about today?
Today, we're talking about why you shouldn't start a business.
Why you shouldn't. You heard that? Why you should not start a business.
Yep, because everybody wants to be an entrepreneur
Oh,
out here,
boy, listen. Everybody in their bio, you're either a public figure or you're an entrepreneur on Instagram. I know, you're famous, schmamous. I get it. But I don't think that every single person should be thinking about being an entrepreneur, in my humble but accurate opinion. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
What do you think most people are trained in school to think about?
Just work.
I mean, just work. Like, have you ever had anyone in school tell you, oh, you should open up a business? There's no school for that. Yeah. There's no school for opening up businesses. And there's some small schools maybe out there in the middle of the wilderness, but most public schools and most private schools, they educate the minds of the youth to learn how to be a great employee. Like, think about it. All the shit you're learning, they don't teach you about leadership. They don't teach you about communication. I mean, even those bullshit communication classes in college, they don't teach you shit. You can't even get up in front of the class and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And even if you could, you can't go up to a random... You know how many people are afraid to come up to a random stranger and say hello?
A lot of people.
You know how many men are afraid to just come up to a girl and say, hey, I think your hair's pretty? Just want to say a quick hello?
That guy.
Right? Like, think about that. And by the way, vice versa. Some of you girls are afraid to have a conversation too, right? We live in a world where anybody can have a conversation. But some people are just thinking about themselves only. And they're not understanding that in order to become a business owner, there's so many skill sets you need. It's not just being a talented individual at making a product. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that became entrepreneurs because they invented a product.
Right.
But just because you invented a product does not make you a businessman. Makes you a great engineer, makes you a great inventor, but it doesn't make you a great businessman. Yeah. And a lot of people make this mistake that because they think they're good at something, at a skill, that, oh, because I learned in school how to be a freaking mechanic, I should open up a mechanic shop. Or I did really well in math, and I'm really good at engineering, and I'm really good at architecture, I should open up my own engineering firm. Like, that doesn't mean you should open up a business. And a lot of times people open up a business, whether they're a lawyer or a doctor, and they stay small because they're trained and conditioned by school, by society, by everybody to think in a very small way.
Yeah.
They don't think about expanding. For example, most people, they don't, guess how much people spend on marketing? I don't know the exact number, but guess how much?
You're saying like the average?
The average business probably spends less than 5% on marketing.
I hear marketing is everything.
You know what I spend on marketing? Most of the money goes into marketing. When we have our sales guys, that's marketing, guys. Yeah. Sales and marketing, we put a lot of money. We put a lot of money into commissions. My guys make a shit ton of money because we want them to go and market our brand. Our brand grows because people are going out there talking about it.
Right.
We also have Facebook, Instagram, all these different outlets that are pushing our name all the freaking time. You may be watching them sometimes, right? Yeah. Why do we do that? Because I understand that marketing is extremely important to business, but that's just one side of the business.
Yeah.
Right? Because most people are taught to think in a very small way. Open up your little shop, get your 1 or 2 employees, and you'll be set till you're freaking 60 years old. It doesn't work like that. You got to go big or don't even start the business. Like, go big, let's say go big or go home. No, go big or die, motherfucker. Like, why the fuck would you want to go home? I don't want to go home, bro. I want to go hustle, baby. Yeah. So that's the mentality. I think that most people should not open up a business because they're not trained to think the right way. To become an entrepreneur, there's a different type of mindset. It's a completely different way of thinking, and a lot of people are not used to that. They're not ready for that type of thinking. They're not ready for that type of sacrifice either.
Yeah. A lot of people think that things get handed to them, or they think it's just A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, and then everything's going to fall in place. But there's so many different skill sets and things you definitely need to learn in order to become a successful business person. You got to invest in yourself. You got to read the books.
But a lot of people do that. You can invest yourself all day, become a trained, skilled technician. Does not make you a businessman.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you got to understand there's so many parts to a business. Yeah. There's marketing, there's recruiting, there's IT, there's technology, there's shipping, there's this, there's that, there's operate. There's a thousand things that go into the business.
Yeah.
And a good business person, a good owner, a good CEO, you know what they're really good at? Bringing people together. A good business person is not really smart at everything. A real good business person is good at finding talent and putting that talent into one room with different personalities. The VP of sales has a very aggressive personality. The operations guy is more more logical. The HR is more emotional, empathetic. You put all those people in one freaking room, all different personalities, like having a zoo in one room, hoping they all get together. And you as a CEO got to make sure everyone is happy. That is what a CEO does. That's what an owner does. And if you can do that very well and very effectively and deal with different personalities, deal with different types of people, right? And put them in one room and manage them and lead them towards a vision, game over. Game over. That business is going to grow like crazy. But most people don't have that skill. They have a skill in like marketing. So they want to become a marketing genius and a marketing businessman. It doesn't work like that. Doesn't work. Does it help to have the skill? Yeah, of course. But that's not why you want to open up a business, right? I also think that a lot of people think that by opening up a business, they're going to make more money as an entrepreneur than an intrapreneur or an employee. And that's false. Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs that make less money than some of my sales guys. It's fucking crazy.
Well, obviously you've started, a business and maybe multiple businesses. I don't know. I'm sure you've started, failed some. So how long did it take you to grow the business in a place? Because I'm sure people they obviously don't see the dark times of you trying to build it and grind it out and not getting income, not getting cash flow. Like, how long did that take you?
I mean, my first official business, so to say, was when I started my network marketing business. Right, I was 19 years old. Right, I also was working in this diamond district, and that technically was my own business because I was like a solo entrepreneur, going out there, getting customers, bringing them to different shops and making money. So I was always hustling and making moves. You could call me entrepreneur at that moment, whatever it be. But the real business that I started, my first real official business, was 2016, which was what we still have today. Right. So I've opened up other businesses after that. Right. Like right now, we're actually can't say what we're opening up in the next 6 months. We have a new business that we're opening up, which is symbiotic to what we're doing right now, which is going to be a good surprise for some of you guys, right? It's already similar to what we're doing right now. But I've opened up my coaching company. Like we've done a lot of things, but it's all symbiotic to what I'm doing right now. Right. And the only reason why it was successful, in my opinion, was not because of me being so great. It's because I was just out there leading from the front. And a lot of people, they don't lead from the front. A lot of people are not wired to be an entrepreneur. I put everything on the line. I lost, in my opinion, I sacrificed everything in my life. I'm talking about my relationship with my family, my relationship with my friends, everything just to make the business work. And yeah, I may not have the tight bond relationship with a girl right now. I may not have the best relationship with all my cousins and shit. But at the end of the day, I had to do what I had to do because I knew the sacrifice I needed to make to get to where I needed to go.
Was it worth it then? You say it's worth it?
For me, it was worth it, 100%. 100%. Because now I can go spend time with my cousins and go fly to Israel and go fly to other places, and I can do that with the money that I've made. But if I would have worked a regular job and not really created the success and not had the money, I probably wouldn't have been spending too much time with it because I'll be working all day. So there's a sacrifice you need to make, and sometimes it may not be worth it for certain people. Right? I'm not saying that being a business owner is the best idea. That's why I say some of you guys, I would say 90% of you should not be opening up a business. Not because I don't want more entrepreneurs. I want more entrepreneurs. But I just know the audience that sometimes watches, some of you guys are not ready for that kind of commitment. And it's better to have the truth be given to you than to have someone fucking lie to you. Because a lot of people tell you, yeah, entrepreneurship, go out there and hustle. No, motherfucker. Can you go out there and work for fucking 60 days and not see a paycheck? Can you go out there for 6 months and bust your ass and see everything around you crumbling? Can you go through the emotions of up and down, left, right, in and out? Like, can you go through that? If the answer is no, then I don't think you should do that. I don't recommend it because it's a very chaotic lifestyle in the beginning until you stabilize it. Right. So a lot of people don't have that mindset. They don't have the willpower or the capacity to do that. And my recommendation is save yourself the stress, save yourself the headache. You can do it in a different way. You could be an intrapreneur. Like I would, if I was smart, if I can go back, the one thing I would do if I had a chance was find an entrepreneur that already was creating results or success and be that intrapreneur with them. Because I think I would have made 10 times the money and 10 times less the mistakes that I've made because I'm following someone that already creating results. I just didn't have that opportunity, so I had to kind of force myself to be the entrepreneur. But if I really think about it, being an entrepreneur sucks. It's worth it, but it sucks. Because at the end of the day, it's all up to you, making sure that you lead people properly, and you can't walk away from your business. I don't physically do certain things in my business, but at the end of the day, my business is on my mind 24/7.
So if you could have like a multiple 6-7 figure job over being an entrepreneur, but making the same money, would that
100%. People say, "Oh, I don't want to be controlled." Listen, you're going to be controlled in a business too. You're just going to have to force yourself to be controlled. Yeah, there's certain things that you could do a little bit differently. There's more profit if you become an entrepreneur sometimes, and long term you may see better results. But not everyone is meant to do so. There's certain people, there's a small percentage of people that should be an entrepreneur. We need you guys. Capitalism, we need you.
Yeah.
I want some competition in the marketplace because it helps me become better, right? But some people are just not meant for that. And then what happens is a lot of businesses fail, not because the business is a bad idea or the product is a bad product. It's because the person who ran that business was not a good leader and wasn't a good fit to be an entrepreneur. That's why most businesses fail. It's not because of lack of money. It's not because of that, right? It's not because of lack of something. It's because of lack of leadership, in my opinion, and that individual did not know how to inspire other people, show them the vision, create the results that needed to happen to go out there in the marketplace and win people over.
Yeah.
Like, I know for a fact that if I started a business that's a very tough business to start, can I make it? Yeah, you can definitely make it, but I'll have to execute like 10 times the effort.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can I do it? Of course, but it's going to be 10 times harder. There's a lot. Like, my friend had a business that didn't really work out. It was a software, hardware, and firmware. So think about that. Software, hardware, and firmware.
Yeah.
So there's 3 components to that shit. It's not easy to build a software and a hardware company. So imagine a product that's a physical product and it has a software attached to it. So that's not an easy thing to do. Now, do I think that I could have done a better job in certain areas? Probably, but it was a tough business. It was a tough business.
Yeah.
But I know that if you put the right person behind that product and the investors believe in that, it would have been a little bit different, in my opinion.
But so then, so how long did it take you, at least with like Nova,
So when I
to
first
start seeing like genuine gains?
I mean, we kind of pivoted a little bit. So in 2016 and 2020, 2019, we were doing sales for different major Fortune 500 companies. And then in 2020, we kind of pivoted to doing a call center, still doing for those major companies, but we pivoted a little bit on our marketing strategy. And then in 2021, we transitioned everything to solar.
Yeah.
Right? So when we transitioned to solar, the first 6 months, I was negative. I mean, I was negative a couple of $100,000.
Yeah.
Right? That was the business that we were in because we had to make a lot of investments.
Yeah.
The 2022, last year, we had a great year.
Yeah.
So we made money relatively quickly, maybe because of the experience that I had, maybe because of the team that I had, maybe because of the people that we had. And it all boils down to I already had the information, I already had the education, I already had the skill set, I already had the mindset. All I just needed to do was just execute.
Yeah.
Right. And I already had a couple of guys that we put together. So it wasn't as difficult as starting from zero, I would say. Right. Because even if I start a business tomorrow, I'm not starting from zero.
Yeah.
I'm starting from some kind of information from like right here.
Yeah.
Right. Then I got to build it up to here. Right. So I don't feel like I can ever start at zero because I've learned so much and I've made so many mistakes. I've had so many successes. I had more failures than successes, of course.
Yeah.
But those successes are so sweet because those failures made it sweeter.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
good.
I think that, and there's always going to be mistakes. You cannot run a business without making mistakes.
Right.
I don't beat myself up. The second I make a mistake, I'm like, oh, what can I learn from it? Boom, next.
Yeah.
Boom, next.
Yeah.
I never dwell on those mistakes, and I don't beat myself up for those mistakes, and I don't feel like I'm a failure for making those mistakes. As a matter of fact, I understand that every time there's a failure or a mistake, I'm like, perfect. I'm getting closer to the fucking result.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, right?
good
So
way to
hiring
think
the
about
wrong
it.
person, firing the wrong person, making the bad move here, picking a different strategy, not judging the market pretty well, making a mistake with a supplier, a partner, whatever. There's a lot of things that can go left and right in the business, but at the end of the day, you're always moving. You're always moving like a shark.
Yeah.
Like I know that from what I understand, if a shark stops, they die, right?
Yeah.
So a shark has to always continuously be moving. That's kind of like how I am in business. I'm always moving. I'm always looking for that hunt. Always hunting,
Yeah. So what would you say to young people over there that maybe want to take on that challenge of, making a business? Like how would they know they're ready to make a big investment, or how would they maybe prepare for that? Because
if you're in your 20s and 30s, pick the fucking leap. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a family and kids and wife, you may have to think about that. But I would just be prepared to not see any type of results for a year or two. If you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to go into that mindset of saying, I'm not going to get a result. No.
Right.
But just be
'cause
prepared.
it's different for everybody.
Yeah, it's different for everybody. Like my first 9 months was tough as hell.
Yeah.
My first 9 months in business. But then the 10th, 11th, 12th month, it started to pop off, right?
Yeah.
So everyone is different.
Yeah.
But you got to look at it, okay, what business am I starting? How much money would I need, right? What is the potential that I can make? Because a lot of times people start a business like, oh, I can make a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that the real, is that real? Or
Yeah.
what's the downside? Like you got to do the risk assessment. Say, okay, what's the worst case? Okay, I could lose $500,000. Okay, what's the best case? I can make $1 million. Okay, is that worth it to you?
Yeah.
What's the percentage of you making $1 million, and what's the percentage you're losing $500,000? And if you're okay with that percentage and that number, go for it.
Yeah.
But many people are not willing to accept the downside.
Yeah.
They're looking only for the positive upside, and that's a scary place to be because you got to understand the downside. You got to
Right.
know what can go wrong.
Absolutely.
How long can it go wrong for?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you think you got to invest 500, double it. Whatever you think you need to spend, double it. It's always like that. I don't know why it's like that. Like every time I think it's going to cost this, it just ends up being more, whether it's because of labor, because of time, because of people, because of the market. Anything could happen, right? Like right now, interest rates are 4, 5, 6, 7%, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago, it was like 1, 2%, right? In certain products.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just that you never fucking know. You have no control of the outside. You have only control of the inside. So do what you can on the inside to control what needs to get controlled.
Yeah. Do you think, are there any like personal preferences on maybe taking on a certain career or a field that people should be taking on, or is it?
I think what you should do, in my opinion, before you want to start a business, why don't you go work inside of a competitor's business and see how that business is? And when I say competitor, like work for them. Be an employee for them. Be a salesperson for them. Do something for them. So, like for example, before I started my business, I understood a lot of the business part because I was in the business for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't just like automatically say I'm gonna open up a business. No, I was working for 2 years as a sales rep, and one company got rid of me. Right? They fired me. The second company basically was falling apart. So I was kind of forced into opening up the business. I had a choice, either open up a business or go find another place to work.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I had $100,000 saved up. I was like, okay, I have enough money saved up where I can start this business. And that's what I did. It just was a perfect timing for me. Okay. Right? So not everyone is meant to open up a business.
Right.
Now, unless you're a good businessman and you can find someone that will operate the business and has experience in that, and you partner up, he does the operational part and you just do the investing part. That's different. But a lot of people that start businesses don't do that. They ate at a great restaurant. The burger was amazing. I'm opening up a burger joint tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, and make sure there's enough money in the business. I'm not saying you need to follow a business because of passion, but there's got to be a little bit of money and a little bit of passion, a little bit of both. Because it's hard when you're not making, bro. It's hard to stay committed.
Do you think
really
people
difficult.
should try out different things though when they don't know what they want to do? Like
why
work
not?
here, work there. Work,
I would try a bunch of to see what you fucking are excited about
right?
and liking. But I also believe you should commit. Once you figure out what you like, just commit. Too many people will be bouncing around too many jobs. Just find 1 or 2 things that you like, pick the best one, and just commit for 2 years. You got nothing to lose. Not 2 weeks. You heard what I just said? Not 2 months. 2 years. Too many people are not willing to commit for something for a year or two.
Yeah.
And they're not figuring it out. You want to see the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, and it's okay. You might say, oh, I'm wasting my time. No. You're utilizing your time wisely. You wasted your time when you were 19 partying your ass off. That was a waste of time.
Yeah.
But if you're 24 years old and you're going to go work for someone for 2 years, that's not a waste of time. You're learning as much as you possibly can. I promise you, find a smaller company that has less than a couple of hundred employees. You'll learn way more than you would have working a big, corporate America job like working at Facebook or something.
Yeah.
Right? You'll learn a lot from a small entrepreneur because you'll see how he hustles, how he grinds. And if the guy's not a good person, then find someone else. Find a good mentor that can mentor you. I promise you, bro, the guys that are in my team, they will love to get mentored by me. I'm the CEO, but I spend time with the newest person on the team that's been here for 30 days because I understand the power of them getting proximity. So I want to help them, especially if they're in my business. It's my business. It's their business, our company. I want them to get better. And you see it all the time.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, did you go to university? Like college or anything? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a University of Hard Knocks, my friend. Yeah. I didn't know what university, bro. A university, bro?
Yeah.
Michael Barayev University. I barely graduated high school. I got kicked out of 8 schools, and the 9th one finally let me graduate. They were not going to let me graduate, but I was like, please, I have to freaking graduate, man. I need to get something, They let me kind of graduate somehow. I remember I barely made it, and then I went to college because they paid me because my foster care program, they paid me to go to college. So I was like, you pay me to go to school, I'll do anything for money at that age, right?
Yeah,
so I went to school, made like 10 grand a year to go to school. It was awesome. I made 10 grand. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I was about to finish. I was my last semester on the second year to get my associates. And I was just getting done with the political science teacher. And I was like, oh my God. And she was just, I can't do this, bro. I was like, you know what? I just walked out of the classroom, never saw them again. I don't even know if I have a grade. I have no idea. My GPA at that time was like 4.0, 3.9. And now it's probably a 2.0 because I withdrew from all those classes. But I don't have any degrees, though.
So do you think most people should go to school, though? Or is it depends on career?
I mean, bro, you want to be a lawyer? You want to be a doctor? To be even honest, I got friends that don't even have to go to school to become a lawyer. You go to a private school, you can get a little degree, whatever. But I don't think school is necessary to become successful, in my opinion. Gotcha. School, I think, it's a great way to waste money, in my opinion, for most people. But you're going to be an engineer? Listen, go to engineering school. But the first 2 years are teaching you biology, which which blows my fucking mind. Oh, they want to have
Yeah.
a well-rounded individual.
Yeah, all
Listen,
these prerequisites.
I want a well-rounded engineer, not a well-rounded person. I don't give a fuck about his biology shit that he knows, right? Like, don't teach math to a guy that is never going to use math.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares, right? So I think they should teach the basics in high school, and then after that, in college, you should go exactly for what you're going to do.
Yeah.
A year or two or whatever the trade is. I'd rather you go work for an entrepreneur for 2 years than go to school for 2 years. That's my opinion. Listen,
Okay.
parents may hate me. Like, I'm probably not going to let my kids go to school. I ain't paying for their school. I know that for a fact. They want to go, hustle, go pay for that shit. Because to me, it's a waste of time. It's like saying I want to go I want to go watch I want to go traveling the world. Okay, great. I'd rather you go travel the world than travel to your fucking campus every fucking day. I'd rather spend 50 grand on my son and my daughter going traveling throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
I'll give you 50 grand to do that shit. And they'll get a way better experience than going fucking 50 grand to a fucking university.
Yeah.
It's stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one last question for you, real quick. Do you believe?
I believe.
Or let me think. Or how do you feel about partnerships in business? Because a lot of people, there's healthy competition. Some people get egotistical and things like that. But some people want to be the best and they want to do whatever it takes to get there and trying to get to the top, and they don't really care about other companies. Do you believe in like working with other people, with other big maybe people
I
in your
believe in
field?
collaboration. I believe 100% in collaboration, but when it comes to partnership, you got to be very careful who you let in. If you do not know the partner, if you do not know how they act, and you don't know what their bad qualities are and their bad days and how they operate, then you're I made a couple of mistakes in my past where I let people come into the company and partner in certain ways where I knew their positive side, but I didn't know the negative side. And that was my mistake. So I learned a long time ago, I will never do business with someone unless I know them. And when I say I know them, I got to know their weak side. I got to know their strong side. I want to know who the they are. I want to know who you are when goes the wrong way.
Yeah.
I want to know how you react when things are not going your way. I want to know how you react when we get sued or this happens or that. I want to know how they react because it's very important to me. And who they are as a person outside of work tells me a lot about them. I'll be honest with you right now. If you cheat on your wife and you cheat on your girlfriend, I will probably not do business with you. You can work with me, but you ain't doing business with me. Big fucking difference.
Yeah.
Right? Because to me, this is how I think. If you can't keep a simple commitment
It's character.
to your wife or your girlfriend,
Yeah.
then how the fuck are you going to keep a simple commitment to me?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what the temptation was. You can have a butt gorgeous girl right now, get her naked, and if I'm in a relationship, she ain't getting touched. And if I'm single, listen, it's a different story. If you single, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But if you're in a relationship, I don't do that. That's one thing. Or if I see someone treating someone like, you can see how people treat people. You can see how people treat like regular people. They treat them like shit. There's this one person, she used to always treat people that were like a janitor in a very different way than she would treat someone who was like coming out of a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Me personally, when I see the janitor, how you doing? High five. Thank you so much for cleaning.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, nobody does that to me. Why do I do that? Because I was that fucking guy.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't forget where I came from. But some people, they forget. They don't remember how they started, and they think they're higher than the fucking world.
Yeah. Do you ever do business with family? Do you believe in that? I've always heard like, never do business.
No,
with
I'll do
family
business.
or things like that.
I'll do business with family, 100%. My family is amazing, but they have to be able to. I know how to like put the family to the side and the business to the side. So like for example, I treat my brothers or whoever if they want to do business with me like I would treat anyone else on my team. There's no special treatment.
Yeah.
Just because your name starts with Barayev does not mean I gotta treat you a little bit differently. No. You gotta earn the same stripes that I gotta earn. You gotta earn the same stripes. Because that's not fair. So I always made it sure, like even when brothers used to work with me, because I worked with me a couple of times, right, in different projects, and I never treated them like special compared to someone else. Like I always loved them on the side, they're my brother, but when it comes to work, listen, if another employee or another worker did the same you did, it's the same consequence or the same reward.
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't anything special.
Got you. Well, my boy Michael Barayev dropping the knowledge.
That's my boy. Listen, if you like
Hit
this
him with
kind
an
of,
outro.
if you like this kind of information, you like this kind of content, love our podcast, love our information, do me a solid. Subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe.
Send this to someone that would love to watch this information, and we'll see you guys
On the
in the next
one.
video.